Welcome back. Another Trinity video for you. This one is on the energy of tolerance because this week at Adawehi we are meditating on the energy of tolerance. Join us Wednesday night from 6 to 6:30. Here's a little preview about the energy. I'm going to give you a brief overview of how you really feel tolerance because I think that's the problem. We all know what tolerance looks like. We understand that it's basically about not going ballistic when a person or situation doesn't do what you want or expect. And we put forth that image. We, a lot of times, appear quite tolerant of a situation, but inside we're gritting our teeth and just trying to get through it. So we know what tolerance looks like, we don't know what it feels like. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. We're going to use some acupressure points. I discovered these in several of the martial arts that I've taken. Tai Chi focuses a lot on acupressure because it's built on that Chinese meridian system. These 3 points that I'm going to give you tonight are going to help you with the main 3 things that keep us from feeling tolerance, because we may say that the situation is okay and it's fine that that person has crazy religious views, or our uncle espouses bizarre, extreme political views at every Thanksgiving dinner and we just tolerate it. But inside we're like, I wish they wouldn't do that. Why? Because we think that those situations can do something to us or take something from us. And that's the main reason we don't feel tolerance. We project the image of tolerance, but we don't feel it because we're still inside quite worried that the situation can mess us up in some way. Most of what we're worried that it will mess us up in is that it can cause us pain, it can stress us out, or it can drain our energy. If you knew that you could handle any of those 3 things, then probably you would be able to experience tolerance. The 3 acupressure points that I want to talk about start with this one right here. It's a quite famous point. People think of it as the headache point. It's actually on your large intestine meridian, L4. You find it by tracing the bone of your thumb and the bone of your forefinger until they meet. And the notch of that little V right there, you will find this point. You can just hold it for a second. Use your thumb. It's a good tool for acupressure. I like to hold the other side too, but if you can't get enough traction that way, maybe you want to just put it down on the table and dig your thumb in that way. However you want to do it. You should hold it for 30 seconds, maybe a minute. If you want to speed up the process, make some little circles with that thumb. Little tiny circles, rubbing around on that point. It'll feel quite tender at first, but the more you rub, it should let go. The pain should dissipate. And when you don't feel any resistance there anymore, you're done. You can even do it on the other hand. It works on both hands. Once again, trace those bones to the notch of the V and work those points. People think of it as the headache point, but it's really good for any sort of pain. If you have an achy spine or inflamed joints or tummy ache or anything like that, work this point. It will help dissipate the pain in your body. And if you're not worried that the situation can cause you pain, you're going to be a little more tolerant of that situation. The next thing we want to talk about is this point right here. It's right in front of your heart, right on your sternum. It's a conception vessel point, CV17, I believe. And you can press on this to relieve stress. Once again, it's hard to get your thumb in there. It's an awkward angle. I like to use both fingers, both sets of fingers. I just hold them there, once again, 30 seconds, a minute, something like that. You can speed up the process by making those little circles. Helps if the circles are clockwise, but it's not the end of the world if they're not. If your fingers start to get tired, just tap. Use your knuckles, or the tips of your fingers. Just tap on that spot for a while. Once again, just trying to get it to loosen up. When you finally dig your fingers in there and it doesn't feel painful, you know that you've gotten that spot to open up and the energy to flow again. This is a wonderful point for dissipating your stress. We all pick up a lot of stress, and if you were in charge and could dissipate it any time you liked, you would be more tolerant of the situation. Most of the time when we are intolerant, it's because we feel that that person or that situation, by doing something that we don't like or holding some view that we don't agree with, can stress us out. Well, if you could just make your stress go away, you would not worry about that situation. And when you're not worried about the situation, then you're truly feeling tolerance, not just acting it out, but feeling it. There it goes. That finally opened up. I have one more point to show you, and this one's for energy. It works the kidney meridians, opens up the kidney chi, as we say in the martial arts. It's like a cup of coffee. It really soups up your adrenal glands. You find it by finding your belly button and then finding the corresponding spot on the back side. It's a little hard to get to with your thumb. Once again, it's a bad angle. So what I normally do is just tap. Just tap that with the sides of my hands. Get a little rhythm going. You can use the backs of your hands you like, or your knuckles, or whatever works for you. Just work that point, once again, 30 seconds, a minute, maybe even 2 minutes if you have to. When you feel that it's not tender anymore, that there's no tight muscles there, you've opened up that point, and you should feel energized. It's like a cup of coffee. If you are in control of your energy, your pain, and your stress, then you really don't need to worry about that situation. And that's when true tolerance kicks in. When you are feeling that the situation can be whatever the situation is, and it doesn't affect me, then you're feeling it, not just acting it out. I hope that's helpful for you. Tune in again for more Trinity next time.